Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Kashif Kamran from KKDL, which is Kashif Kamran's Digital Learning. Today I am discussing a very important topic for the AAA student, which is about importance of reading articles in the AAA paper. Every now or then I get questions from students asking me, is it important to read articles in AAA and how important they are? Should we read all of them? Should we read selected articles from the list provided or given on the ACCA website? Should we not read the articles and just read the books? So I thought it's extremely important that I do a short session where I give answers with clarity about how important is it to read articles? Can we skip them? Should we read them, etc. Let's move on and discuss the importance of reading articles in the AAA paper. Now, this is the question, which is a summarized question: books versus articles. Now, I believe as a tutor, since I am teaching this AAA paper now for over 15 years, I think specifically in the last 6 to 7 years of my teaching the AAA paper, I have focused my attention on articles, rather books. When this paper was new and when this paper had lack of articles from the examining team, I used to recommend students that you should read books or books are important. And I still remember that I used to recommend a Kaplan book to the students, and I still like Kaplan book for the AAA paper if anyone wants to read that. But now, over the last 5 and 6 years specifically, with the articles improving, the content from the examining team increasing on the ACCA website, and with more support coming from the AAA examining team, I believe articles is the best way to prepare yourself conceptually for the AAA paper. Because again, at the end of the day, articles is the mindset of the examining team, which is exactly what you need on the day of exam. So if you want to take knowledge and you want to have a conceptual knowledge for AAA paper, which can be blended, which can be adapted according to the circumstances and the situation given to you in the case study, I think articles is the best way to learn the knowledge you need in the AAA paper. And I'll be showing you the list of articles which are currently available on the ACCA website. And out of those articles available, which of them you should specifically be reading and not skipping at any cost. Now, yes, I believe there are students who like to read through books, and you must have passed your previous papers on the basis of a book reading, whether that is BPP and Kaplan, and you have developed an approach that I cannot give a paper without reading a book. Then if you are that sort of a student, then I would prefer that you stick to a book. You cannot change your strategy for the AAA paper because you are coming through your last papers of ACCA, and you're passing those last papers of ACCA through an approach where you are reading the books and you believe in the importance of book reading. So you cannot change the approach for your last paper, which is the AAA paper, or your second last paper, the AAA paper, because that could be disastrous. So I would still recommend that you go for the book reading and don't change your approach. But if you're taking classes from a tutor, either me or from anyone else, and because when you're taking classes, whether they're online classes or physical classes, you get a lot of support from the tutor. Right. And you get a lot of resources from the tutor. You get a lot of knowledge from the lectures of the tutor. Now, in that way, skipping the book becomes more logical and reliance on the article becomes more important. And if anyone is enrolled in my lectures, I emphasize a lot on reading articles, even in my webinars. And in every single webinar of mine since 2018, I've been emphasizing and reinforcing the importance of reading articles in the AAA paper, because I believe they give you the right knowledge. And you read the articles, and in every article, you get an exam focus. In every article, the examining team will tell you how this topic will be examined, or how this topic usually gets examined in the paper. And they give you examples, and they give you some situations. So those articles are not just knowledge, and those articles are also relatable to how things will get into the paper. So that makes them more realistic over a book. So as a tutor, I normally give articles precedence over a book reading, and this has been for last 6 to 7 years now, and I've been very affirm on this approach of reading articles, and I've seen amazing results as well, with students investing their time and efforts in reading articles along with the tutor resources and tutor course they're enrolled in. Now, the other important thing is there are so many articles on the website, and I've given you the hyperlink of that. You can see the hyperlink at the left-hand side of the screen. You can go to the uh, web page where the articles are available for AAA, but you will see a list of those articles, and I'll just be showing you that. Is it important to read through all of them? Are there certain articles which can be skipped, which can be omitted? And can we make a more refined list of articles which should be read at the end of the day, particularly with March exams coming up in just like a month away? So in that sort of a scenario, what should be the best looking approach of reading this article? If I can share in front of you the screen for technical articles, I hope you can see that now. The good thing ACCA has done is they have divided the technical articles into syllabus area wise. You can see the syllabus area A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So they've divided the articles into those set of syllabus areas, A to G. Now, let's browse through them and let's understand whether we are reading it or not. You first go to the syllabus area A, technical articles. There are just two articles in here. One is about corporate governance and its impact on the audit practice. This is quite a journal knowledge-based article. And if you look at the past papers, I think there are two instances where examiner has asked question about corporate governance or audit committee and the role of the audit committee in context of the audit, or something about corporate governance and how corporate governance interacts with the external auditor. So I think the knowledge from this article is important and you should read it. The second is laws and regulation. Again, it tells you about the auditor responsibility about laws and regulations, and particularly when there is a non-compliance with laws and regulation, what should the auditor do? What sort of actions the auditor should take when there is a non-compliance with laws and regulation? And that sort of questions have come a lot in past papers, asking for auditor responsibility towards a non-compliance, or what actions the auditor will take for non-compliance. So I think learning from these articles can really help you adapt according to the circumstances given in the exam paper. So both articles from A should be read. Then you move down towards the B syllabus area. And in the B syllabus area, there are again just two articles. One is about auditor liability. We have not seen much of testing on auditor liability in recent past, like in recent 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. But again, this is an article which is still available on the website. You should have an idea about auditor liability, and you should have the idea about the methods or ways through which the auditor can limit the liability by reading this particular knowledge-based article. Then there is an article about massaging the figures, quite an important article, because if you want to know about auditor responsibility for laws and regulations, or sorry, you want to know the auditor responsibility for fraud and error, or you want to know what are the auditor responsibility in terms of detecting a fraud, what are management responsibilities for preventing and detecting a fraud. So that sort of a mindset is developed from this article, massaging the figures, and examiner has given you some situations and examples of how you can pick from an exam paper that the management is doing a fraudulent activity, or management is manipulating the numbers, massaging the numbers. So both articles under the B area should be read. So far, it's 4 articles in total. You move on to the syllabus area C, quality management. We know from September 22 exams, the quality control has been replaced with quality management, and the examining team has published guidance on quality management because there are new auditing standards. So the examining team has published two articles, part 1 and part 2, on international standards on quality management. One, ISQM 1 and ISQM 2, and the revised ISA 220. So this area has been revised from September 22 exams, and you should read both these articles to know what quality management is and how it will be tested in exam paper, because the examiner has given lots of exam focus in both these articles, that how ISQ M1 and how ISQ M2 and how ISA 220 revised will be tested. It will still be tested the same way the quality control used to be tested, but we know there is an incremental impact between quality control and quality management. I've already covered that on my YouTube channel. There is something extra in quality management, which used not to be the case with quality control. So you should read these articles so you have a very good mindset about quality management, about the way it will be tested in, along with the course you are taking from any particular tutor. But again, these two articles are must, not to be skipped. So far, ABC, 2 plus 2 plus 2, we're going to 6 articles. We move to the most important syllabus area from AAA perspective, syllabus area D, which is about planning and which really makes an impact on the question number 1 of your AAA paper. The first 2 articles are exam technique articles. They are just telling you how you should write a good answer for business risk and how you should be writing a good answer for risk of material misstatement and audit risk. They're guiding you about the way you should write an answer. So they're technique articles. They're not knowledge articles. They are just telling you how you should write a good answer for audit risk or for business risk. So please do read them, because they will guide you about the marking scheme. They will guide you about how you calculate and comment on the materiality. They will guide you on how you phrase up your answer, which can impress the marker who is checking your paper. So the first 2 exam technique articles, part 1 and part 2, are must. Group audits, yes, they do give you an idea about the responsibility of the parent auditor and the responsibility of the component auditor. We do see questions, knowledge-based questions on the component auditor responsibility or the parent auditor responsibility, or what is a significant component, or how do a principal auditor identify a significant component, etc. So I think the reading of this article will help you understand the relationship between a parent auditor and a component auditor, and what is a significant component, etc. So might help you down with the with attempting knowledge questions on group audit, which comes in the past papers. Risk and understanding the entity. Yes, that's another important article, because that article tells you about what are significant risk. And we know since September 22 examiner has changed the terminology, significant risk. So how would you prioritize a significant risk? What is significant risk? How would you pick up a significant risk from a case study? This article would really be helpful. Auditing in a specialized industry, yes, that's a good short article, because that really tells you about how you should be auditing a specialized industry. What is a specialized industry, and what sort of an approach you should take when you are planning to perform the audit of a specialized industry. Then the next one is auditing disclosures in financial statement. Again, this is an article which should not be skipped, because if in an exam paper you are performing procedures on a disclosure, or you are performing or you're gathering audit evidence on disclosure, this article would really help you that what sort of a work the auditor do on disclosures. Then the next one, using the work of internal auditors. Again, it's a knowledge-based article. You should be reading through it, not skipping it, because it will tell you about the role of the internal auditor and to what extent the external auditor can rely on the work of the internal auditor. Audit risk article, you can skip that, because you've already read the exam technique article on audit risk, and you have read the article on this one, risk and understanding the entity. So there is no need to read the article on audit risk. Audit working papers, no need to read that. Audit in a computerized environment, I don't find any relevance currently. Specific aspects of auditing in a computer-based environment, again, I don't find any much relevance to that as well. So from the syllabus area D, my preferred articles are the first two, exam techniques. Third is the group audit. Fourth is risk and understanding the entity. Fifth is audit in a specialized industry. And sixth is auditing disclosures in financial statements. So that's six, and previously we had four. So that's making the list up to 10 articles, right? Okay, now moving onwards. Syllabus area E, completion, review, and reporting. Again, that's a very critical area for the AAA paper. One of the question in section B is set from this area. Evaluation of misstatement, nothing much because it's more about practice of the past papers. So I would not prefer you reading this article. Completing the audit, yes, you should read that. It gives you a lot of good knowledge you need at the stage of finalizing the audit, and that can really help you in a certain scenario. Going concern, yes, it's a must. Audit report to those charged with governance, that's a must. We do see questions on that. Examining evidence. If you're not sure about what evidence is and what is the difference between evidence and a procedure, you should read this article. But if you're very clear on what evidence is and you have attended the tutor lecture, then you can skip that. So examining evidence, auditor report to those charged with governance, going concern, and completing the audit. So that's another 4, making the list to 14. Other assignments, all of them are important. The assurance of social, environmental, and sustainability information part 1 is important. It's a recent edition from September 22 exam, and it could be tested anywhere soon. So please do read this other assignment. The part 2 of the same article, assurance of social, environmental, and sustainability information, you must read that. Performance information in public sector, yes, that's a must-read article because we do have questions in past paper about the audit of performance information and forensic audit. So all 4 of them are important from here. So that's taking the list up to 14 articles now. Current issues and developments. Currently, there is no specific current issue here. These have all been examined in recent past. So I would not prefer any of them to be read from here. But the first one here, exposure draft, proposed revision to the code to promote the role and mindset expected of the professional accountant. Much can be tested from here because the testing of this article was very less. So I still believe there is a space on it. And please ensure you cover this article. This is extremely important from the syllabus area G. So that's taking the list to 15 now. Cover multiple areas, both articles. Data analytics is very important. It can come back. And professional skepticism, we know this is a central topic of AAA. So that's taking the list, I think, now to 17, I guess, right? Just let's recount the list. We have 2 from the cover multiple areas, data analytics and professional skepticism. We have 1 under the syllabus area G, which is exposure draft. So that's 3. We have almost 4 under F, so that's 7. We have another 4 under syllabus area E, so that's 11. We have almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We almost have 7 under the syllabus area D, so that's 14, then to 16, and then to 18, and to 20. So 20 articles in all. If I just miscounted the numbers, please ignore that. But just ensure that you concentrate on the recording and ensure that which articles I have recommended from A to G and the articles which cover multiple areas. Reading of articles is important. That is the bottom line. That is the central idea which you should get out of the session today. And you should invest your time on reading article. Even if you're reading 1 article a day, and the way of reading article is you just go over it. You never read an article inside, deep inside. You just read through it. You just brush over it and make a summary. So 1 article a day and a summary. The next day, one article and a summary. The next day, one article and a summary. And I think every article, maximum, an article is like 4 pages. So reading a 4 pages over 24 hours, one single day, and just making a summary, I think that would just take a maximum 45 to 50 minutes of yours. Even if it's a difficult article, we just need to concentrate a bit, might take just 1 hour. So 1 hour a day with another 15 minutes for summary, I think that's quite a good investment, which will really help you in your upcoming exams for March. So that is it. This is the message that reading articles is important. But if you are a book reading student, you never skipped a book, and you believe that you cannot skip a book because you don't have the confidence of skipping book, then you should stick to the book. But if you are a student taking classes from a tutor and resources from a tutor, then the best approach to study the AAA paper is the articles, because they build the conceptual mindset you need for the AAA paper. Because the rote learning and a deep reading is not the need of the AAA paper. Even those students who read the books and they go deep inside the books, you're just wasting your time about going deep inside books, because you just need a surface knowledge. You just need an overview. You just need a summary, and you need to practice lots of past paper, because at the end of the day, the AAA paper is passed through the practice of the past papers, not with the knowledge alone. So that's extremely important. So this is it from my session, Importance of Reading Articles in the AAA paper. I hope you will benefit when you watch the recording and you concentrate on the articles I have recommended you to read. Take care, and I wish you all success in your upcoming exams. This is Kashif Kamran signing off from the Kashif Kamran Digital Learning Initiative, which is to guide you about importance of reading articles. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.